Yeah, hi everyone, welcome. Purpose of the video today is to introduce a new Bitcoin model that I've created, and I call it the Bitcoin pump cycle. What the pump cycle is a combination of mathematical formulas and a spiral key representation of the number pi that allows the users to input past cycle lengths that have been fully completed to be able to predict how long the next cycle will take from start to finish. And it does that by aligning all of the Bitcoin price cycles into a mathematical chain of time using the formulas and spiral key that I have listed here. So what I'm going to do is break this introduction into two sections. The first section is going to be covering the full cycles. Second section is going to be the mid cycles. So let's jump right into the full cycles. And I'm going to start on the full cycle chart tab. What I want to do is introduce how to align each one of the Bitcoin price cycles to the spiral key, because that's the most critical component of the model that will help users understand how to create the inputs needed for the mathematical formula. So as you see right here, each one of the Bitcoin price cycles ends in an unmistakable blow off top, and those unmistakable blow off tops can be positioned on the spiral key where the spiral increases in radius. So to start, the first Bitcoin price cycle is the purple cycle. It starts at 0 degrees and travels the circumference of the spiral to 108 degrees. The next cycle is the orange cycle that travels from 108 degrees to 144 degrees. The third cycle is the dark blue that travels from 144 to 288 degrees on the spiral key. The next cycle is the brown that travels the circumference of the spiral from 288 to 324. Cycle after that is the turquoise cycle that travels from 324 to 504. And then the current cycle we're in is the green cycle. That starts at 504 degrees and runs the circumference of the spiral all the way around until the next radius increase, which is at 828 degrees. Down here at the bottom, these are the full cycle end dates. You see the actual cycle end date, the model's end date, and then the difference between the model and the actual. Where I'm going to move next is going to be the full cycles tab. Over here at the top, you'll see inputs for the mathematical model. The first is column A, that's the cycle. Cycles are numbered from 1 to 32. And the next section is going to be in column B. It's labeled as the sections. These are going to be the representation of the number pi, as you can see, 3, 1, 4, 1, 5, 9, etc. What the sections are is if you take the spiral and you break it into 10 sections, each of them 36 degrees, these are going to be the number of sections of those traveled during each one of the cycles. Column C is the radius. So cycle number 1 is at radius 1, cycle number 2 is at radius 2, etc. Column D is the actual duration in days that the cycle took from start to finish. The first cycle took 210 days from start to finish. Second cycle took 116 days, and so on. Column E and F are going to be the start date and the end date. Next up, column G is going to be how to position the cycle on the spiral key. So for instance, cycle 1 starts at 0 and runs through 108 degrees. Column H is the model formula. That's down here. You can see in the formula bar how to calculate this using the inputs. And then finally, column I is going to be the difference between the model and the actual. So down here, the model formula is broken out into two different formulas. The first formula on the left allows the users to predict how long the next cycle length is going to take, given the previous cycle input length, as well as the values for radius and number of 36-degree sections traveled. Going in reverse to be able to validate how long the past cycle length took, you can use input cycle lengths from another cycle combined with the radius and sections value to determine how long a past cycle length took. Over here in the upper right, we have the current cycle length statistics. The current cycle, which was the green cycle on the previous tab, started on 12/17 of 2017. It's modeled to run 3,181.7 days to end in a blow off top on September 1st of 2026. As of today's date, March 3rd, 2025, we are 83% of the way through. And then the entire model statistics are calculated. Coinmetrics first started their price tracking on 7/18/2010. As you see down here, the model runs through 2,441. Interestingly enough, that's when the first 0 in pi is encountered, which ends the model. So as of today's date, we are overall 3.4% of the way through, and there's a total of 32 cycles that comprise this model, and those cycles are modeled in the table over here on the left. So that concludes the first portion of the video. I didn't want to make this super long, but I still wanted to provide the user with enough information as to how to calculate these model formulas here. So I appreciate everyone's time. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you on the next one. Bye.